Morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me for my weekend forecast. I am out of town and I was going to re-record a forecast, but this is the forecast I gave my patrons a few days ago. It's still accurate. Not really much has changed, and it's going to look a lot better because I was in my regular recording spot in my office. So take a look at that, and I will be back Tuesday with you. Look, you're up with your work week forecast next week. I'll still be traveling on Monday, so I'll be back Tuesday, and stay warm out there as it is going to be really cold these next couple days. All right, here's your forecast.
Hi, everybody, hi, patrons. Thanks for joining me as we take a look at your weekend forecast for February 3rd through the 5th. I'm recording this a day early because of some travel I'm doing. I'm actually going to a friend's wedding in Florida, which is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm unfortunately abandoning all of you here in southern Vermont as you experience your coldest time of the year. So I'm traveling tomorrow, so didn't have a chance to do the forecast tomorrow. We're not going to send this to you until tomorrow because I want to wait a little bit on the extended forecast for those of you who get the extended forecast each week. I recorded this on Tuesday afternoon whenever you happen to be watching this. The forecast for the weekend is pretty locked in, so that's not a huge deal in terms of what's going on. Most of this you've probably heard in headlines, but basically we're going to be really cold the first half of the weekend and then warming up pretty significantly by Sunday. Why are we getting really cold? Well, first of all, pretty much all year we've had this subtropical flow on the subtropical jet stream that has been pushing warmer air across the southeast. But finally, we've had a push of colder air, and also the northern jet streams kind of got involved in this, and it's dipped way far to the south here. And so this warm, mild air and Pacific air, which has been headed in our direction for most of the year, has gotten cut off. There's a big ridge to the west, which is keeping us detached from the Pacific, and we're going to tap some cold air in Canada. I'm going to show you that in a minute, but there is finally cold air in Canada, and it's going to make a push towards us. It's a quick hit, but it is going to be significantly cold for that quick hit. So Friday and Saturday, dangerous kind of cold outside. If you're going to be outside for any amount of time, you need to be bundled up and ready to go. Even if you're just driving somewhere in your car, you're going to want to have those, a blanket and things like that with you so that if for some reason you got stranded for any amount of time, you're prepared. Again, this is not like weather where we're unprepared for it in southern Vermont, but it is very cold, and it is the kind of weather where you have to respect how cold it's going to be. In terms of radar here, again, you can see everything's being pushed well out to our south, which is just opening the floodgates for chilly air right now, but then a reinforcing shot that's really going to bring the main show in on Friday. Let's take a look at temperatures, and you can see here we really, for the first time, we have these deep pinks and even some purples, minus 30s, close to minus 40, northwest Hudson Bay, and that is just going to get pushed and stream in. The core of this air aloft is just going to move in right over the top of us. And we're not going to be this cold surface temperature readings, but wind chills will be these kind of numbers on Friday overnight and into the first part of Saturday. And temperatures are going to be plenty cold as well. So let's take a look at how this happens. Here's our low pressure system and mostly this Arctic front, which means business Thursday at 1 p.m. We're in this relatively cool pattern Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. Not real cold, a little bit colder than we've been for a lot of the winter, but not real cold. But then the floodgates open as this front starts to pass through. By Friday at about 1 a.m., the front is approaching our area. So our high temperatures on Friday will be at about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning or so, right before this front moves through. Once it moves through, temperatures will drop pretty consistently. It won't be like a sharp drop like we had on Christmas Eve where temperatures drop like 10, 15, 20 degrees within a couple of hours. Not quite like that, but temperatures will just slowly seep down starting probably at midnight. We're actually in the mid-20s or so on Friday at midnight or so, and we will seep down so that by Friday afternoon we're probably below zero even while the sun is still out on Friday afternoon, and certainly heading well below zero Friday night into Saturday. By Friday night, you can see the front is all the way well to our south, and the northerly flow from this high pressure system to our west, low pressure system to our east, is just flooding in the cold air. Very cold temperatures. By Saturday, though, you can notice this high is starting to move east, and our temperatures are more, our flow is, the heart of the cold air is moving to our east, And actually, around this high pressure system, we're going to start to see some return flow and also another clipper system or a system that's going to go well to our north, low pressure system that's going to start to usher back in some southwesterly flow, so that even though it's real cold Saturday and it's Saturday at 1 a.m., by the time we get to Sunday afternoon, just about a little over a day past that last map, we've got this system to our north. A warm front has moved through. It's going to be a dry warm front, no real precipitation with this, maybe a flurry or a sprinkle, but and then temperatures will be rising. We'll probably get above freezing in most locations on Sunday, which is going to be hard to believe because Saturday, most locations, we're going to struggle to get to zero. Okay, so let's take a look at that forecast as it goes. Friday, I put a high temperature of 12. That's about the temperature it'll be at noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I think. You'll still be dropping. I think by dark, we're probably down to about 0 or a little bit below 0 by the time the sun goes down on Friday. Windy. Wind chills all day Friday, particularly in the afternoon Friday, 20 to 30 below, and then Friday evening and overnight 30 to 40 below 0 wind chills. What does that mean? That means if you have exposed skin while you're out there, only a couple minutes before frostbite sets in, which just means if you're going to go out, you're going to be outside at all, you just got to bundle everything up. Saturday as a ski day, you can ski in weather like this, but you better be prepared for it. That's basically all I'm going to say. If you've got kiddos, it's not a good day to have your kiddos out there skiing. The conditions will be all right. That's why it's going to be tempting. And the wind will have died up a little bit, so it won't be quite as bad. But it'll still be breezy, especially those mountaintops. And they're not going to get anywhere close to 1 degree above 0. A place like Stratton, you'll be lucky to get to 10 below as a high temperature at the summit on Saturday. You can ski in that. You got to have hand warmers and glove warmers, and you got to have the right kind of gear. But you're going to want to be careful. Friday skiing, there's going to be lots of wind holds for chairs and things like that. So you're probably going to be stuck at the bottom of mountains on Friday. Again, you can do it, and Friday won't be quite as bad. The later you get in the day, the worse it gets. Friday morning won't be quite so cold. But yeah, if you're trying to get out there and ski, the best day to ski this weekend would be Sunday, if you can. It'll still be breezy. We're going to start off kind of chilly, but temperatures will already be rising. You probably get that -3. You might even get a little colder than that by around midnight, but then you're warming up through and then rapidly through the morning up to about freezing. Mountaintops won't quite get to freezing. It'll probably be in the upper 20s, or mid 20s maybe even, but a little bit breezy, not real breezy, but a little bit of a breeze and some flurries around on Sunday, particularly for the mountains. Overnight, we hold on to the clouds as that warm front and that storm goes well to our north. Temperatures holding in the upper 20s, and it looks like this is really our only, currently at least, our only real sharp hit of cold air, and then things kind of quiet back down again. We're in a relatively quiet weather pattern after all the busyness we had last week. Let's take a quick look at those highlights. Dangerous cold weather Friday and Saturday. You got to respect it. Again, this is Southern Vermont. It gets cold here, so it's not like we've never seen this before. But you got to respect that kind of cold. Temperatures quickly rise on Sunday back to slightly above average temperatures. A few flurries are possible Thursday. Overnight into Friday, and then with the Arctic front there, wind chills -30 to -40 Friday evening through Saturday morning, and on either side of that 20 to 30 below as throughout the days, both on Friday and on Saturday. So again, got to be careful out there. Skiing Friday and Saturday will require bundling, I should say bundling up, not in, completely. I mean, face covered, all that kind of stuff. You got to be ready for it if you're going to try to get out there and do any activities. So there you go. That's the forecast for the weekend. Not the best ever. Thankfully, this cold snap will be quick, but it will be there. If you have a house with pipe freezing kind of situations, the good thing is it's not real long lasting, but the wind plus the cold does make this some of the worst kind of conditions for that. So whatever precautions you normally take, if you've got to turn, if you've got extra insulation you put around, or space heaters, or whatever you do to try to help out that situation. If you just need to turn the thermostat up a couple degrees, now this weekend would be the time to do that, Friday into Saturday. All right, that's enough on my end. If you have any questions, certainly always feel free to email me. I want to give a quick shout out. Oh, you are my patrons. I don't have to give a quick shout out to you, but there's a bunch of you who joined in the last month. I really appreciate that, and I will be back on Friday with an updated look at the weekend forecast. It'll be a little different because I'll be in a different location, but but I will be back with it, and yeah, and then I'll be back next week with a look at your work week forecast. All right, thanks for supporting the channel, and thanks for being interested in the weather in Southern Vermont.